This is a continuation of the story time that I posted before of some of the most craziest fights that I've ever seen in my whole lifetime. Okay, so this first two fights that happened, it happened in the same exact day. This was around like May of 2014, and I was in the 8th grade. And a little backstory is that Lansing School District, I went to Lansing STEM Academy that was known as the Right Rich all my middle school years. And there was another middle school that was not that far away from here. It was called Gardner Middle School. And Gardner was a little more like hood oriented, if you know what I mean. Like at Lansing STEM Academy, you had to wear a uniform. At Gardner, you could wear whatever you want. And most of these two fights that happened in the same day, this was Gardner related. So the first fight, I'm going to give the names of these two chicks. One is Instagram famous and the other one is Ratchet Chick. So apparently Instagram famous and Ratchet Chick has some issues that need to be sorted out, and they was about to fight. And Instagram famous chick, she was known for being a HOE, a THOT back then, because her reputation was garbage. Because on Facebook back then, like 2013 to 2014, I didn't see so many people get exposed and everything. And she was one of those people that got exposed a lot for sleeping around, sucking off different people, things like that. And throughout the fight, they start to fight and everything. And there was a lot of more people that was on Ratchet Chick's side than the Instagram famous chick's side, because a lot of people did not like this girl at all. Like, I guess she had burned too many bridges, or they just did not like her. But yeah, I am probably going to post screenshots right here, because I don't want to post the video, because if Instagram chick sees this, she might try to sue my black butt, and I don't want to deal with that. So anyways, the two start fighting, and for a good majority of the fight, Ratchet Chick is beating Instagram's girl's butt. And she had a lot of fans too. They was like, you better get her, beat her butt, man, beat her butt, Ratchet Chick, beat her butt. And everything was going good until, oh, out of nowhere. Tell me why. So Instagram chick, she was on the ground, and Ratchet Chick was on top of her, like beating her, punching her, holding her hair back. So tell me why Instagram chick decided to spit on her. And when she did that, the whole crowd that was there freaking lost it. And I mean lost it. They started screaming like, oh, oh. They was now encouraging Ratchet Chick to destroy her, because it was disrespectful. If you ever spit on somebody, I don't care who you are, that is beyond disrespectful. Like, you need your wig split for that moment. So they continued to fight and everything. And after a while, it was over. Ratchet Chick won that fight, and that was it. So a couple of hours later, I would say like an hour or two later, it was Ratchet Chick again fighting somebody, and it was against a light-skinned chick. And they fought at this basketball court on where I used to live at. If you know where Stonecrest Townhomes is at, and you know Rydesdale Park, then you know that basketball court. Like during the summer times, that basketball court be popping and everything back then. So there was around like 50 to like 70 people there, and they started to fight, and Ratchet Chick somewhat slammed the light-skinned girl to the ground. And then one of the most craziest things, it looked like 5 to 10 people was stomping this girl out for like 5 to 10 seconds. And they continued to fight, and it did not get better for a light-skinned chick. And by the end of that fight, freaking Ratchet Chick won another fight. However, while they were fighting, I don't know what happened. I could see it from a far distance. Tell me why like 3 to 4 police cars was coming out of different directions, coming to arrest folks for fighting, coming to stop people for fighting. And I have never seen that many people run for their life ever before. And I know why, because no one is trying to go to jail. I wasn't there, but if I was there, I would have ran as fast for my life too, because don't nobody want to go to jail, especially Julie at like 14. And you're about to like finish with middle school and everything. Like, it was not a good time to go to jail. So yeah, Paul Post was coming, and I saw so many people run for their life. It was not even funny. And that was that. So another crazy fight that I saw, this was in high school, and it took place in a lunchroom between two people. I forgot who fought and everything, and what had happened. Apparently these two people had issues with one another, and then out of nowhere they start to fight and everything. And I don't think security was even around when this happened, because I didn't see no security. I didn't see no one try to stop the fight, because what I remember was that they continued to fight and everything, but then they decided to take it out of the lunchroom, and then I guess it was somewhere around the gym entrance areas, because the gym way at EV had like two to three, four or five like entrance ways like to get through the gym. And I guess they decided to take it there, because I remember seeing like a good majority of the kids that had B lunch that day just going to see that fight. I didn't see it. I went to my classroom that day, and I don't know what happened with the results. I remember that a good majority of the people in my classroom were late, like 5 to 10 minutes late. And so that was that. That was the end of that fight. Another crazy fight that I saw, this was the end of a day in high school. I think I was a senior at that time, and it was between two foreigners, and you could hear them. They was yelling at each other, cursing each other out, saying they about to like mess each other up, do this and do that. And by the end of the day, I would usually catch the bus home from school, and there was like freaking 10 to 15 buses and all. And my bus would usually be like the last one to come. It would usually be late sometimes, but then other times, tell me why my bus would be like 30 to 45 minutes late. And anyways, they fought, and I guess if I remember correctly, the dude got knocked out and he was still trying to fight. And what happens usually with fights at high school, security will usually come. And on very rare occasions, you will usually get arrested. That's unless something really bad happened. And security, they was coming, but the person that won the fight, tell me why he got away. And people were laughing and everything. I was too with my friends, and folks was really looking for him like a good 5 minutes or so. They never found him. He was long gone. And that was that. And so I would say that the last fight that was crazy to me that I ever saw in high school was during my junior year. It was about to be the end of my year. This was around like May of 2017. So this fight happens between someone that I used to be cool with and another person that I kind of knew. And this person was Charles in a couple of my story times. Charles, he was a shady individual. He did a lot of like garbage to people, and he would usually do just like a lot of garbage things. Like, for one example, like trading shoes was a huge thing and still is a huge thing all around the world. He would do that a lot, a couple of times. And apparently he traded with somebody and he gave them a fake $100 bill. And he was known to wear buffs around school. If you know what buffs are like extremely expensive sunglasses. And I would see people flex with them. They would flex with them and all, try to be like they got that money, they got that cheese. That's another thing that I saw. People flexing all the time with cheese that wasn't theirs, sunglasses like buffs that wasn't theirs, or kicks that wasn't theirs. And so him and another person, his name was Mark, they had some issues, and Mark did not like Charles one bit. And apparently Mark had broken Charles's buffs, and they had to settle the score. And what happened was that this was on the third floor, the very last floor of the building, and this was in between a couple of lockers. So Mark, he tries to swing at Charles, but Charles missed, and then out of freaking nowhere, tell me why Mark picks him up and he slams him to the locker a good couple of times, like 5 to 6 times. And Charles was still trying to fight, but then teachers came out of classrooms and they was holding each other back. After that, Charles got suspended for the rest of the year. He came back the last day, had to do all of his finals after everybody else was done. Marketing, he got suspended too. He came back, such and such. But then a couple of like 30 to 45 minutes later, after he got kicked out, Charles was on Snapchat talking about he beat Mark's butt. But everybody saw that fight. I saw it. He lost that fight fair and square. And he could not fight for nothing. He was a schemer, and I have a future story time on him. And that is the end of today's video. If you have any comments, please put them down in the comment section. Like and subscribe. Until next time.